Purifying Massage Ritual, back massage. Start with connection, one hand on the base, one hand on the crown. Make a connection. Uncover the back. Apply your product and entourage. Entourage. After effleurage is double thumb pressure. Going to come to one side of the back. Starting on one side of the spine, in line with the top of the shoulders, next to the spine in the spinal gully, the laminar groove. We watch for the breath. As the guest breathes out, we press down, in towards the spine, relaxing out and up, moving along. Down, in, out, up. Down. A little bit in, a little bit out, up. Come round to the other side of the bed. And double thumb pressure on the other side. So I've worked side one. You can think about this side as side one. Doesn't matter which side really you start on. And now I'm working down side two. Double thumb pressure. In and out. Next we're going to do thumb sliding. Starting on side one again, you can remain on the same side of the bed. Gliding with one thumb, the other thumb catches up. Glide, glide, slide, slide. Make sure you're in the laminar groove. Working all the way to the sacrum. Other side. After thumb sliding, the next technique is called finger rocking. And this is half nervous system and half lymphatic drainage. We're actually going to work from the base up for this one, because for lymphatic, we want the lymph to be flowing upwards. So we're going to place our fingertips in a line on the opposite side of the spine and rock. Finger rocking, this is called. Moving up, pressing down, finger rocking. Encouraging the lymphatic fluid in the spinal channel to disperse. Also encouraging the nerves to relax, and also stimulating the nerves going to all of the different organs in the body. To do the same side, do the other side, the side I'm standing on. You can do it from the same side, but if you're uncomfortable doing that, you can come round to the other side of the bed. I'm going to do it from the same side just for the sake of the video. As long as you can make it feel the same on both sides, that's fine. You don't need to change sides of the bed. Keep checking, make sure you're in the laminar groove, the gully in between the erector spinae muscle and the spine. After finger rocking is our general lymphatic drainage. We're going to start on side one. So I've done side one, side two, side one, side two, side one, side two, and now I'm going to work side one again with lymphatic drainage. Pumping, pumping, pump and rock, flat hands, glide and release, glide and release, glide and release, and then pumping on the side of the back in a waving pump, like a worm. Stepping the hands up to the next point. You can usually fit around 4 of these up the back. So I'm pumping, I'm on the opposite side of the spine to where I'm standing, pumping, pump and rock, and then gliding and releasing, gliding and releasing, gliding and releasing, and pumping. This last one you can actually drain to the clavicle. So you can bring the hands over and then do your pumping in here. And then you want to come round to the other side of the back. You can do this by working the neck and then coming down. And then we're going to work the other side of the back, or general lymphatic drainage. Okay, so you can go all the way down the side in the same way as we did before. Okay, general lymphatic drainage. Next, we are going to do some more lymphatic drainage, starting on the left side of the back, standing on the right side. So you're going to have to come back round, sorry love. We're going to first of all work on the lower back and then the upper back. So we're going to start on the mid back and we're going to do a creeping wave to begin. Stepping the hands back. Repeating for a second time. I'm using my two hands to creep wave, using a creeping wave towards the side of the body. Creeping the base of the hands forwards between each wave, working downwards. After doing this 3 times, I'm then going to move on to the next movement. Which is called U-shape pumping. I'm going to put my hands on a U-shape. I'm going to sweep and circle. Sweep and circle back. Sweep and circle back. Sweep and circle back. Once I've reached the hip here, I'm going to lift the hip with my bottom hand, and with the top hand, pump, pump, pump. So if she doesn't mind, I'm just going to lift her hip up a bit so you can see where I'm pumping. I'm pumping on the other side of the hip bone. The hip bone's here. I'm putting my fingertips underneath the hip bone and pumping into there. Pump, pump, pump. You obviously don't need to lift it up that much. You just put your hand underneath. And then you step back, and again, sweep and circle. Sweep and circle. Sweep and circle. Sweep and circle. Lift and pump. Pump, pump. One more time. Sweep and circle. Sweep and circle. Sweep and circle. Sweep and circle. Lift, pump, pump, pump. Then we're going to do the upper back. From the mid back, we're going to do our creeping wave. Over to the side of the back. Careful not to tickle underneath the armpit. We do this 3 times. Okay, after 3 times, we're then going to do our U-shape pumping. Sweep and circle. 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 3 times, and then our last move is a creeping wave up to the clavicle. In the clavicle, we pump, pump, pump. Again, do that 3 times. Creeping, 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 and pumping, pumping, pumping. After the 3rd time, you then transition over to the other side of the back, and you're going to do your lymphatic work on the lower back again with your creeping wave. Your U-shaped sweeping and pumping underneath the hip bone, and then your creeping wave on the upper back, your sweeping on the upper back, and then your creeping wave up towards the trapezius and pumping into the clavicle. Right, after you've done all your lymphatic work, we're then going to do circles into the occipital ridge times 3. So you're going to hold the head with your upper hand, and with your bottom hand you're going to first of all work with the thumb from behind the ear, doing circles pressing up into the occipital ridge, working towards the centre, doing static circular pressures. And then on the side that you're not standing, you don't need to use your thumb, you can use your fingers to work the opposite side. And we do this movement 3 times. So as I come to the center of the neck, I am completing my first time. I do this another 2 times. Again, working with the thumb on this side, fingers, thumb, and fingers. Next, I'm going to do my nerve point combing, and then nerve point guiding and combing with the poultices. So I'm going to start with the nerve point combing. It's very similar to working on the back of the thigh. And I'm combing out. Refer to your philosophy of healing here and look to see how the nerves look in the back, in your lymphatic nerve point therapy section. We're working out over the nerves. Any areas that feel more dense, you can spend longer. Work all the way down from the base of the neck to the sacrum. And then you're going to take 2 poultices. First of all, you're going to glide down each side of the spine in nerve point gliding, using a slow, sustained pressure, heating up the nerves, heating up the erector spinae muscles, coming down the side of the spine. You can see for the video, I'm just gliding either side of the spine. And then you're going to do nerve point stroking with the poultices, pushing down and combing out. Pushing down and combing out, really stretching the nerves from the spine. Pushing down and combing out, all the way down the spine. Place the poultices down, effleurage the back. And then we're going to effleurage, wave rock up the back and vibrate on the head. Effleurage down, wave rock on the back and vibrate on the head. One more time. Wave rock and vibrate, finishing with a feathering from the sacrum, light fingertips, stroke all the way up the spine, from sacrum to the neck, repeating 5 times. Very light fingertips here. I'm then going to cover her back. Finish with connection. Asking her to take 3 deep breaths. Please take 3 deep breaths. Finish this treatment, We'll disconnect, turn her over onto her back. We will then cleanse the feet, spray the perfume, eau de perfume of purifying range, onto the ankles, and finally finish with a spritz of the body mist over the body.